Ever wonder how to find the slope of a line through 2 points? Let's explore. Hi, and welcome to Algebra Examples. I'm Dr. Finch. I have a PhD in math and over 20 years of experience in math education. Thank you to everyone who's sent in questions to answer. If you have a question that you'd like to see answered, please send it to purplefinchmath@gmail.com. All right, let's look at their question for today. We are finding the slope of a line that is passing through 2 points, 2, 4, and negative 11, comma 6. So slopes mean that we are going to be using the letter M. That is always going to be meaning a slope. Whenever we see the letter M, we should think slope of a line. The slope is always the rise over the run. I'm going to go through all the things that you probably don't need to write down, but you should know. The rise is the change in y, and a lot of times we use this little triangle to mean change. It's a Greek delta, okay, over the run, which is the distance on the x-axis, right? So if we have, I'll just draw this in the corner. If we have a line here and we want to know what the slope is, we are looking at how far up it's going. That's the rise. And we are dividing that by how far over it's going, called the run. All right, bringing it back here, the change of y, we are usually going to write that as y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. You'll notice that the subscripts that we are using here are consistent. We start with a y2 and same with an x2. y1 then and an x1. So the first thing that we are going to do with our points is we are going to define which one is going to have x1, y1, and which one is going to be x2, y2. I want let's make this one x1, y1, and I like to put these right underneath the point that I'm working with so that I don't get confused or wonder which one I started with. So what we need here is we're going to start with our y2, which is 6, and then we're going to subtract our y1, which is a 4. On our bottom, on the denominator, we're going to start with x2, which is negative 11, and we are going to subtract our x1, which is 2. Now, the important thing is that we don't mix and match when it comes to which numbers we put where. If we start out with the 6, then we have to start off with the 11. So these two either have to be first or they have to be second. Same with these two. They have to be kind of right on top of each other when you're writing it out. It doesn't matter the order in which we write it, and I'll show you why in just a little bit. Okay, so in this case, 6 minus 4 is 2. Negative 11 minus 2 is a negative 13. So our solution is a negative 2 over 13. We can write it a different way if we want to. You can leave the negative sign in the bottom. That's not an issue. All right, I want to show you just something slightly different before we call it quits. What happens if we make this our x2, y2, we switch up which ones are x1, y1, and which ones are x2, y2. Okay, so if we change that, our formula stays the same. Our x2 starts with a 4, and then, or our y2 is a 4, and then we are subtracting our y1, which is 6. Our x2 is 2, and then we are subtracting our x1, which is a negative 1. You'll notice I'm putting parentheses around our negative 1, and you'll see why. On our top, we have 4 minus 6, which is a negative 2, In the denominator, when we have a double negative, that turns into a positive. So we end up with -2/13. So you'll see you get the same number. It doesn't matter which order that you put it in. It just matters that you kind of keep the points above each other when you're working through the problem. Thanks for listening.